Good morning. I have the most wonderful testimony of a miraculous healing in my life and how God has just shown up to just show himself great and loving and caring. For years I suffered with an allergy to hibiscus flowers, raw okra, and specifically a very violent allergy to sorrel. Sometime over the course of the years, I had stopped experiencing this allergy to hibiscus flowers and okra. It just disappeared. I don't know if I prayed and it went, but suddenly I could be around hibiscus flowers and it didn't bother me, and I could touch raw okra and it wouldn't bother me. But let me tell you about the sorrel allergy. It was so bad that if I took a sip of sorrel, a sip, even if it was just part of a drink, it just had to be in the drink, I would break out in a rash, my tongue would get heavy, and I would have to reach for Benadryl or DPH, whatever antihistamine I could get my hand on. It was so bad that I could tell when sorrel was in the vicinity of where I am. Because if I was downwind from the fruit itself, whether on the plant or if it was shelled out in a marketplace, I would just start breaking out in hives. People look at me and say, what's wrong with your face? Why is your face swelling up like that? And I remember once I was downtown and I was going to take a taxi, and I started to break out in a rash, only to realize that inside the back of the taxi was loaded with sorrel, so I had to come out. That was not an easy day because the whole street was lined with sorrel and I was just having the most horrible time. I had to charter a taxi to get out of downtown. I am part of a group called Healing Rooms, and we minister healing by the word, by laying on of hands. And we met last Saturday. Today is July 7th, I believe. But we met on Saturday to minister to some people. They were sharing sorrel drink as a part of the refreshments, and I covered mine, and I said to Dr. Arlie, no, that one's not going to work for me. And she said, okay, all right, well, you can have water. But Naz, who is one of the ministers, said, I prayed for somebody who had a severe allergy this week. Why don't we just pray for you? So I said, okay. And I stood up there and I still held on to my cup, covering my cup. And they all came and they laid hands and they prayed, and they really addressed digestive issues and allergic reactions and all of that. And then Dr. Arlene said, I sense that the Holy Spirit is saying this is tied to some childhood memory. And I said, it's funny you should say that, because I remember when I was little, we lived on a big property and we were upstairs shelling sorrel. And we were planning to go down. There's 3 girls and a boy. We were planning to go down to the big tank to bathe, because we said we couldn't bother to lug no bucket of water up the hill. So we decided we were just going to bathe at the tank. It was sheltered enough, so. And at the bottom of the hill, there was a big 40,000 gallon water tank, a concrete tank. And my mother had commercial chicken houses. I think they were like maybe 8,000 each or something like that. And she just had a crop of chicken that came in for her to raise. And we got delayed going down. I don't remember what delayed us, but we were delayed going down. And we heard a rumbling sound, and when we looked, the 40,000 gallon concrete tank crumbled, and all that water went straight into the cubes, drowned off all the chickens. I remember I was very traumatized by it because I said, wow, if we were down there, we would have died, all of us, or at least seriously injured. And that was when I noticed the welts on my hand, and I just associated it with an allergy to sorrel. And I said, oh, it looked like I'm allergic to sorrel. When Dr. Arlene and the others prayed for me, there were 6 of them plus me, I just started to feel very comfortable in my body. All the anxiety and I guess facing the fear, because I never really faced it, enabled me to make some peace with the whole traumatic event. And then I just said, okay, give me some sorrel to drink. Well, the silence in the room was very, very tangible. And I said, and in my mind, I was hearing, why don't just wait a bit and then just gradually test it out, when you can have antihistamine and whatever. And I said, what the heck? Arlene is a doctor. And if I'm going to believe in God for miraculous healing for others, I have to believe it for myself. So I said, give me some. And I had a 7-ounce cup in my hand and they gave me about a quarter cup. And I took a sip. And we waited and nothing happened. Now, I'm telling you, it was so bad that just taking a sip would cause my tongue to just get heavy. And my throat would start to lock up. I mean, it was really terrible. But nothing happened. So I took another sip. And another. And I went and ministered. And I was so elated with all the other miracles that happened. I just decided, well, sorrel is what is here to drink. I'm thirsty. I ended up drinking 4 cups that night. No, I'm telling you, this allergy was so terrible that my neighbors won't plant sorrel around me. I remember when I came to live with my husband before we got married, his daughter planted sorrel. I said, okay, I'm going to have to go home until she done reap it. And he said, no, I can't make fake a sorrel make you go home. And he uprooted everything and carried over to another neighbor. My neighbor realized also that his hibiscus plant was causing me to really cough terribly every time during pollen season. I could not go near the flower. I couldn't go in the vicinity of the flower. And he just said, he just cut it down. They just rooted it up and I've not seen them grow it back. And it's such a freedom because I really, really love the hibiscus family. I really love the hibiscus flowers. So being able to touch okra, eat it raw if I want to. Now I can drink sorrel, which I really did like. God is just so awesome. This is a freedom for me in ways I cannot even explain. I love to buy fresh produce, but because of this allergy, I just refuse to go to the market. Now I can go to the market and I can pick up what I want and I can stand next to sorrel and it won't bother me because God has healed me. So to God be the glory. And I thank Arlene and the team for persevering and helping me through this. And I'm just expecting God to do more and more miraculous things in my life and in the lives of the people whose lives I touch.